Thank you.
Almost to 1:15. Welcome back to Central Valley Talk. We are live and local on this Wednesday, the 19th of May. It is finally cooling down across the Central Valley. Highs will be in the low 80s. And then as we cruise through the rest of the week, temperatures will go down to the 70s and mostly sunny skies. I am Austin Reed. Hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Give me a follow. I'd appreciate it. I'll do the same to you. Hey, our next guest joining us live via Zoom is the one and only Darius Assemi with Granville Homes and the GV Wire. Darius, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Austin. Good to be with you.
Thank you for being here today. We've got a couple things to talk about. Number one, I want to start with how things have been going for Granville Homes during the time of COVID.
So about a year ago, we shut down our office for almost 2 months. That was late March through late May, not knowing what to expect to keep our staff and our customers as safe as possible. And then we slowly opened our office back up with lots of restrictions. Home sales took a small dip back in March, April of a year ago. And our concern was, gosh, where is this thing going to go with COVID and with people getting substantially more restricted in their movements and within our city and across the country? What is that going to do to commerce? We saw what happened to the stock market back in, February, March, April of last year. But we had a relatively quick turnaround, or I should say stabilization of the housing industry and of home sales. And by, I want to say, June or July of last year, home sales picked up substantially. And we realized that what people really wanted, and this was really a paradigm shift, in our country. More folks wanted to be able to work from home with the advent of Zoom and entertain at home and spend more time within their home. So they're actually were looking at upgrading, getting bigger home with a home office, bigger entertainment, and of course bigger pantries. And we quickly retooled most of our floor plans to accommodate our customers' needs and demands, which was exactly that: larger patios, larger pantries, and in-home office in every plan we have. And I got to tell you, so once COVID is all behind us, hopefully soon, we see several permanent shifts. There's so many organizations that are now allowing meetings via Zoom or some kind of a teleconferencing. And the in-home office is here to stay with us. We see traveling for conferences and meetings, in-place meetings get reduced. Maybe, they're going to go back up, obviously, post-pandemic, but we don't anticipate that to be at the level that it was in January of 2020. So some of those shifts are permanent. Of course, the drop in interest rates from 4% February of 20 to 2.5% summer of 20 was incredible. It fueled an incredible buying spree on housing that we're still enjoying. Our customers are now paying around 3% interest rate for a 30-year fixed, higher than the 2.5 last summer. And we anticipate those rates to go up, by the way, as the economy fully opens and spending goes back up. But it's a very strong, robust housing market. The challenge for most home builders now is being able to get materials delivered on time. There's some factories that are still not fully operational because of COVID, or some of their staff are not going back to work. And of course, we've all heard the lumber challenges. To give your audience a number, about a year ago, lumber was selling for about $350. And this is the measurement on lumber sales is 1,000 board feet. And today, I actually haven't checked the numbers this week, but we're pushing 1,500. It went to 1,700 briefly a few weeks ago. So it's about 4 to 5 times more. So a home that was $15,000 in lumber today is $60,000 or $65,000 in lumber cost. And unfortunately, we don't see a leveling off of those numbers anytime soon, maybe early next year potentially. That's kind of the forecast. And lumber will back off only when, in fact, the mills are fully operational and demand has began to soften. And as interest rates go up, rates are forecasted to go up to 3.5, maybe 3.7% in about a year. Demand will cool off because cost has gone up. As rates go back up, then the monthly payment, which is really, we're in the monthly payment business, those numbers will be substantially higher now than January of 2020. And that will put a little bit of a break or a slowdown in the housing industry. We believe in about a year from now. But there's incredible opportunity today to lock your interest rate in at 3% and get a gorgeous brand new home if you can get it with all the energy efficiency and bells and whistles. Of course, we're grateful for the Fresno Clovis community, the Fresno B readers that have voted Granville Homes the #1 home builder 14 years in a row. So grateful for that vote of confidence from our community as well.
I saw that recently. Congratulations. That's just absolutely fantastic. I want to talk a little bit about your new development. It's one of the first new developments in the Tower District. And here at Central Valley Talk, of course, we are in the Tower District. And you are building a nice apartment complex, basically right at Olive and Van Ness.
Correct. Called The District. 18 units, 1 bedroom, 1 car garage, 1 bathroom. The garages are attached with patio space and balcony on the second floor units. Granville's latest technologies and energy efficiencies will be in those units. Great appliances, solid surface quartz countertops, great looking cabinets, great floor plans, a version or updated version of some of our products that we've built in downtown Fresno will be built in that location. We were grateful that the Weil family, we were able to negotiate a deal with them about 1.5 years ago, almost 2 years ago now. And we're going to build a great looking project that will be very compatible with that neighborhood, attractive, nothing towering. So we try to mimic some of the architecture on Van Ness, south of Olive. Two-story buildings with kind of similar architecture. We're looking forward to getting a great project delivered sometime between end of this year and early next year. Of course, that's also subject to making sure we get all the parts and pieces from the factories that are, not at full capacity right now, including window manufacturers, cabinet manufacturers, of course, lumber. So everything is a little bit slower, but we hope to, again, get that project finished towards the end of this year or first quarter of 2022.
On top of Granville Homes, not recently, but within the last few years, you helped launch GV Wire. And it is a beautiful news source for the Central Valley. When did you launch that officially?
Gosh, I want to say 4 years ago, maybe close to 5 years ago now. And so it's a very small team, but we uncover or expose some of the local stories from school districts to local government. And if there's a national or an international story, we try to get a local perspective on that.
Yeah.
Whether it's the Armenian conflict, whether it's a school district issues that are happening today in the Middle East, what's happening to city council races, to school board races. We cover a variety of topics, but really our team is mainly focused on local stories that impact us on a daily basis that are not being covered currently. We had a panel last night.
I saw that.
On water, right?
Yeah.
And the renaming of the school, the next school, or naming of this next school at Fresno Unified School District, which is going to happen tonight. So we did an article a few weeks ago. Nancy Price, one of our journalists, did a great article on that a few weeks ago, and we did a panel on. Michelle Asadorian was on last night, discussing why that is so important, and discuss the poll results that Fresno Unified did. So we had a lot of great detail for the audience, and the vote is going to happen tonight. So we cover stuff that a lot of other agencies cover or don't cover completely.
Right.
And by the way, we team up with, we don't team up, but we also follow some of the other agencies as well. But the naming of the school is important to a lot of folks. So we shared a lot of data last night on the polling, and also water. What are the challenges we face here in the Valley? So we had 4 great panelists on 4 water experts, really. What are the challenges of water in our Valley? What happens when we in a drought year? How much water do we ship to the ocean? How do we store water? How do we make sure that these things don't impact, at the end of the day, our produce prices at the store, which impact all of us? And one of the I think it was Ryan Jacobson, head of Fresno Irrigation District last night, said this really impacts the lower income folks. A lack of water makes food prices go up, and it impacts the lower income folks disproportionately, which is so true. Yeah, so really we put GB Wire together to do more in-depth analysis on some of these issues that impact us on a daily basis that may or may not be covered by some of the other outlets. Of course, we have some great news media outlets here locally, but we want to do our part in covering some of the stuff that we believe is important to the audience here in Fresno County.
Yeah, I mean, it's an alternative, and I think it's very, very unique because most, major home builders across the country do not have their own, online news presence. But I mean, Granville Homes builds communities. So I think having the pulse on what you see as builders and then bridging that gap for your readers and your followers is a cool thing that you do. And like you were mentioning, the coverage last night about the water situation here in the Valley, that's all part of Unfiltered, which airs every Tuesday night, right, at 6 p.m. On the GV Wire Facebook page. You host this along with Steve Brando, right?
Correct, and Michael Krabasi of Fresno City Council, yes.
So it's and it's nice because it's a long form news magazine, but on video.
Correct, and so you bring up a great point, Austin. So we, as home builders, we deal with home builders and farmers. We deal with water issues, land use issues, traffic issues, high-speed rail issues. And a lot of the stuff that's happening in local government, we are aware of. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, by the time that information gets to our readers or viewers, the legislation has already happened. So part of what we do at GB Wire is, as legislation is being brewed, or what does it say, as sausage is being made, we bring that up and alert or inform our audience that, hey, be aware, this thing is coming and it's going to impact you. One of the stories that you'll see on GB Wire over the next few weeks is that our sales tax for residents of City of Fresno is going to go up 3/8 of a percentage point sometime in July. And so if you're buying a car, or going shopping at a store in Fresno, actually, you can buy a car anywhere. So long as you're a resident of Fresno, you're going to pay at 3/8 more in sales tax than you are today. And we're going to air that in the next week or so. I'm actually giving your audience a preview.
We've got the exclusive. Thank you.
Yeah, before GB Wire audience. But anyhow, it's a lot of those things that we inform our viewers and our readers while this thing is happening or before it's happening. So they get a chance to go, oh, wait a minute, I better get involved or get active or make a decision or whatever it may be. So we don't go, oh my gosh, how did this happen a year ago? When did this happen that's impacting me now? So the audience can actually get involved in our beautiful country and in the sausage making if they wanted to.
Exactly. We've got about a minute left. Anything I missed? Anything else you want to mention to our viewers this afternoon?
We cover two brief things. At GV Wire, we cover a whole host of issues, from local policy to healthcare to education to immigration. And next Tuesday, we're going to cover the conflict in the Middle East and Israel and Palestine. We're going to have the goal is to have three panelists to discuss both sides of that conflict.
Great.
So stay tuned for next Tuesday at 6 p.m. And gvwire.com is our website. You can tune into that. A lot of great coverage again from what's happening local. And thank you for the time to be on your show today.
Absolutely. Darius Assemi, CEO of Granville Homes, along with the GV Wire. Learn more, GVHomes.com or GVWire.com. Darius, next time, I hope to see you in studio, okay?
You got it. Thank you. Thank you, Austin.
Thank you. I'm Austin Reed. You're watching Central Valley Talk. We're back with another live local guest in just a bit. Hang tight.
The first thing I did do was fall to my knees and thank God for allowing me to become the mayor of this city.
The proposed eviction protection program will help safeguard Fresno's most vulnerable tenants in a time when we are anticipating a flood of evictions across this nation.
Central Valley Talk. What are we? We're an online talk show dedicated towards promoting you, whether you're a business, band, nonprofit, or whatever. How do we do it? We connect you to a sea of thousands of viewers by placing you in front of a live camera and letting you, well, be you. Work with our team of friendly faces to help you get maximum visibility above the rest of your competition.
Welcome back to Central Valley Talk.
Welcome to Newsmakers. I'm Mike Briggs.
Hello there. Thanks for joining me today on Boys to Men.
Well, we're back again with another guest, and this time it's an author.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the first show of The Method.
I want to talk a little bit about Daughter Diaries, and then we'll get into some of the questions.
Sure.
I'm Barb, and this is Salo. Thank you.
Go to our webpage, CentralValleyTalk.com, and off to the right is a little place you could click, and it says you want to be a guest. You click and you type it in, and next thing you know, you're a guest.